Hello, this is the luckiest maths teacher in the world, and today we'll look at substitution and solving equations. Now, fortunately, you've actually been doing substitution in some of the other topics we've done, but this is just going to formalize it. Now, it's really easy. So, of course, substitution is just when we take a variable, prenumeral letter, and we give it a numerical value. So let's say that A is going to be minus 3, and B is minus 5. So then we're going to substitute that into each of these. So firstly, what is, say, A squared? So all we do is we take our expression everywhere we see an A, we substitute in a minus 3. Now when you're substituting in a negative number to B squared, you need to use brackets. So this would be minus 3 all squared. Minus 3 times by itself gives you positive 9. So what would be B minus A? So we'll substitute that in. It would be B minus A. Of course, two minuses together become a plus, so it's minus 5 plus 3, which gives you negative 2. Let's add something like A cubed divided by B plus 6. So A cubed is just minus 3 cubed. Again, I'm going to put it in brackets when I put in my calculator. Negative 5 plus 6 on the bottom, and that just equals negative 27. The bottom is 1, so I don't need to write that. So how easy is that? Substitution's fine. Now we'll look at solving equations. So for something to be an equation, it needs to have an equal sign. So let's say we have something like 6 plus 7x equals 55. Now the idea behind solving these types of equations is that we've done a whole heap of things to x. We need to undo them to find out what x is. Now you've probably been taught a few methods over the years. I don't mind which one you use. So we can use a flowchart which says what's happened to x. So first we tell the story of what's happened to x. So we started with x. Now looking here, there are a couple of operations. We've times by 7 and we've added 6. So when I'm drawing the flow chart of what's happened to x, I need to get things in the right order. I know the right order from BODMAS or BIDMAS or whatever you want to call it. So what I did to x was I multiplied by 7. Then I added 6 because this is a positive 6. 6 plus 7x is the same as 7x plus 6, and then I ended up with the answer 55. So to solve the equation, I start at 55 and I go backwards. So think of this like a plus 6 machine. Whatever number you put into it, it adds 6 to it. So if you put 2 in the machine, it spits out 8. But if you want to go the other way through the machine, you're reversing the operation. So instead of adding 6, I'm going to subtract 6. So then I've now got 49. Instead of timesing by 7, I divide by 7. And 49 divided by 7 is 7. So make sure you write the answer properly. It's x equals 7. Now the other type of method you've probably gone through is the balance method. So let's say I have something like 2x minus 8 over 6 equals negative 2. So for this we can use the balance method. So the idea here is the same. We want to take everything that has been done to x and undo it and get x by itself. So just like if you were to dress yourself, you put your t-shirt on first, then your jumper on second. If you want to undress yourself, you have to take your jumper off first and then take off your t-shirt. So in exactly the same way here, when we're undoing things using the balance method, we have to do them in the opposite order to BODMAS. So what I've done to x here is I've timesed it by 2, subtracted 8, and then divided by 6. So I've got to undo things in the reverse order. So the first thing I want to do, I want to undo dividing by 6. And the way I do that is timesing each side by 6. So these two kind of cancel out. And I'm left with 2x minus 8. Now negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. The next thing I want to do to both sides is add 8. So I'm undoing subtracting 8 by adding 8. So the key here, what you do to one side of the equation, you must do to the other. Okay? And that leaves me with 2x. So the minus 8 and plus 8 cancel each other out. So I'm left with 2x equals negative 12 plus 8 equals negative 4. And now the last thing I need to do is undo timesing by 2. So notice that I'm undoing that last because it was the first thing done to x. So just like when you're getting dressed, it's like the putting on the t-shirt. If you put on the t-shirt first, it gets taken off last. So I divide each side by 2. 2x divided by 2 is x. So that's what I wanted, x by itself. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Now I could see if any of these was the correct solution by substituting it into the equation. So I can check. I'll do that over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute x equals minus 2 into this equation and see if it gives a true statement. So what I'm essentially saying is 2 times negative 2 minus 8 divided by 6 equals negative 2. That should be true if my solution here is correct. So 2 times negative 2, negative 4, minus 8 gives you negative 12, divide 6 is negative 2. If you put this side of the equation on your calculator, it would tell you the answer is negative 2. And that's how I know that I've got the correct answer. Now, all of the equations we're doing are linear equations. Now, you would have come across quadratic equations before, which sometimes have 0, sometimes have 1, sometimes have 2 solutions. All linear equations have one and only one solution. So once we found our solution negative 2, we're stopped and we're done because there's only one solution. Hope you've enjoyed this video. This has been the luckiest maths teacher in the world. Have a great day.